Good morning, students. Today our topic is perfect competitions. So in the last class, we discussed about what is the competition and what are the different types of a competition. In the competition, the different types of the competitions are divided into based on its number of buyers and number of sellers concentration. The competitions are divided into two types. First of all is the perfect competition and second one is imperfect competition. So first of all, perfect competition. So what are the features of a perfect competition? So perfect competition features are, that is, if the more number of buyers and more number of sellers are available in the market, and each firm is a price taker and as well as a price maker, there is no need of advertising for increasing the sales of a product. There is no entry and exit restrictions from the market. That is, there is no entry and as well as exit restrictions from the market. And the free mobility of resources, the free mobility of production resources such as land, labor, capital, organization and technology. So they are available at anywhere. So if these features are occur to a particular market, so that market is called as a perfect market and the competition is called as a perfect competition. So what is the price output determination in a perfect competition, in a short run as well as in a long run? What is the price output determinations? What is the price output determination in a perfect competition, that is in a short run as well as a long run? If you take as a price and output, price means that is depending upon the cost of production, the company fixes a particular price upon the product. So depending upon the demand or depending upon the competition in the market, the quantity of production varies. That is depending upon the market situation or depending upon the competition. So in a short run and in a long run, what is the product, how the company fix the product price? That is, the in some situations it fixes the price as a very high and in some situations it fixes the price as a very less. So how it gains profits in a short run as well as in a long run? So what is the quantity of sales and quantity of production is occur in a short run as well as in a long run? So this is the price output determination in a short run and in a long run. First of all, if you take as a short run period means that is the period which is below 1 year, or that is the from the below 1 year period or 2 years period is called as a short run. Price output of the firms are based on the industry price and its own cost. The industry price has a greater say because the firm own sales are very small and insignificant in a perfect competitions. That is, in a perfect competitions, the price fixing is not in the hands of any industry or a firm. So the price fixation is that is depending upon the market force and as well as that is the company's own cost. But when you observe the sales in a perfect competition in a short run, that is the sales is occur very small and insignificant, because we already told about the what is the supply and demand in a perfect competition. If you observe the supply and demand in a perfect competition, the demand is more and as well as supply is very high. So automatically when you observe the graph, the supply and in a graph, the supply and demand curve, that is the supply is more when comparing to the demand, because that is the in a perfect competition more companies are entering into the market and each and every company is ready to supply the output, for balancing the demand in a market. So automatically the supply is more when comparing to demand in a short run. So when supply is more when comparing to demand, so automatically small and insignificant sales is occur in a short run. The firm demand curve is horizontal at the price. That means average revenue is equal to marginal revenue and it is equal to price in a short run. So average revenue and marginal revenue are equal to price. That means if you fix the product price, which is equal to average revenue and marginal revenue. For example, if you fix the product price as a 10 rupees, so it is equal to average revenue and marginal revenue. So the demand curve is also known as average revenue curve. The demand curve is known as average revenue curve because that is the average revenue and marginal revenue are equal to price. If all units are sold at the same price, when the average revenue is constant, it will coincide with the marginal revenue curve. Price is equal to average revenue and is equal to marginal revenue. The firm satisfies both the conditions. That is the first condition is that is the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and marginal cost curve must cut the marginal revenue curve from below and marginal cost curve passes through the minimum point of average cost curve. So if these two conditions are satisfied, so the company survive in the market in a short run. The firm gets profits as the price for each unit exceeds average cost. The firm gets, when the firm gets higher profits, if the price exceeds the average cost, that is the price of a product, the company fixes more than the average cost. The company fixes the product price as a, it is more than the average cost. So the more, which is, that is the more than average cost. For example, the average cost for producing a output is 10 rupees. If the company fixes the 15 rupees or 12 rupees, the more than average cost that gives higher profit. That means that the 5 rupees or 12 rupees are higher profit to the company. Based on its cost and market condition, the firm make profit or losses or break-even point. That means based on its cost means if the company produces the output with less cost, and market conditions are like that. That is the demand is more than the supply, or that is the few companies are available to produce the product, so automatically it gives more and more profits. Otherwise the company goes in losses. What is the short-term supply curve? That is, what is the short-term supply curve? If the market price below the average cost, if the market price is below the average cost, the firm may still supply goods provided the market is above average variable cost. Above average variable cost. If the price is below average variable cost, the firm refuses to sell the goods. The firm refuses to sell the goods. The reason is by not selling the goods, the firm suffers a loss equal to average fixed cost only. If it sells the goods, the loss is above average fixed cost. So supply curve is above average variable cost. If you observe them in a short run, what is the supply occur in a market is the company is ready to supply the goods in a market. That is, if its average variable cost is covered, if the price, that is the what the company fixed the price upon the product, the price is equal to average variable cost. So in these situations, each and every company is ready to supply the output in the market. But in some situations, that is in perfect competition, if the competition is more and more and the company is in that situation that the company fixed the product price which is below average variable cost. Below average variable cost. In this condition, the company refuses to sell the goods, and the firm refuses to sell the goods in the market. So first of all, if you clearly understand about what is a variable cost and fixed cost, I already told in the last class, variable fixed cost means that is the land cost, building cost, machine and equipment cost. So these are all called as a fixed cost. That means fixed cost does not change depending upon the production. If you produce the output or if you produce the output more or less, but the fixed cost is fixed. For example, if you purchase a machine with 1 lakh rupees, if you produce the output or if you produce more output or less output, but the machine cost does not changes, it is equal to 1 lakh rupees. That is called as a fixed cost. And what is variable cost? Variable cost means that is raw material cost, labor wages, fuel and power, So these are all called as a transport charges. So these are all called as a variable cost. If you produce the output, so if you produce more and more output, you need more and more raw material. So automatically raw material cost increases by increasing the production quantity. And as well as that is the labor wages also increases. If you produce more output, so you hire more and more laborers. So if there is no production is occur in the company, there is no need of laborers. So there is no need of paying wages to laborers. And at the same time, same like as if you take as a fuel and power. If you produce the output, so fuel and power consumption is occur. So if you without production, there is no cost on fuel and power. The fuel and power cost does not occur in the organization. So these are all called as a variable cost. So the variable cost is that is the by producing the quantity of output, the variable cost varies. If you produce the more and more output, the variable cost increases, and if you produce less output, the variable cost decreases. So this is the difference between fixed cost and variable cost. If you observe the short supply curve in a short run, if you observe the supply curve in a short run, so in the supply curve, the variable cost is if the company fix the product price which is above the variable cost, the company is ready to sell the goods in a market. Because if the fixed cost is not covered, but the variable cost is covered, the company is ready to sell the goods in a market. Because the fixed cost is fixed. That is, if the machine life is 10 years, so for 10 years, the fixed cost is fixed. So that is, in this situation, the company thinks that is, if only variable cost is covered, so so the company ready, that is to cover the fixed cost, that is in good conditions. If the company is in good condition, or if the market conditions are favor to the company, so on that situations, the company the fixed cost. So the firm suffers a loss equal to average fixed cost only. If it sells if it sells the goods that is the below average variable cost, that is the loss is above average fixed cost. So supply curve is above average variable cost. So that is the market condition in a short run. That is ante ikkada manaki suppose average variable cost ni cover cheyagalgite company, యావరేజ్ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ చేసిన అవుట్పుట్ అనేది మనకైన కాస్ట్ అంటే రా మెటీరియల్, లేబర్, సో వీటికి అన్నిటికీ కలిపి మన కాస్ట్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యావరేజ్ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ ఒక ప్రొడక్ట్ మీద 10 రూపీస్ అయింది అనుకోండి, అదే 10 రూపీస్ కి మార్కెట్ లో మనం ప్రొడక్ట్ అమ్మడానికి రెడీగా ఉంటాం అనమాట. ఎందుకని, సపోజ్ మనకి మిషన్ కాస్ట్, ల్యాండ్ కాస్ట్ ఇవన్నీ రాకపోయినా అవి ఫిక్స్డ్ గా ఉండి ఒక 10 years వరకు 5 years వరకు మనకి టైం ఉండిద్ది. కాబట్టి మనకు సపోజ్ మన కంపెనీకి ఒక ఫేవరబుల్ కండిషన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు మనం ఆ ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ ని కవర్ అయ్యేటట్టుగా హైయెస్ట్ ప్రైస్ ని ఫిక్స్ చేయొచ్చు. కానీ కండిషన్ బాగాలేనప్పుడు, కాంపిటీషన్ బాగా ఉన్నప్పుడు కంపెనీ ఏంటంటే కనీసం వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ అంటే మనం అప్పటికప్పుడు పర్చేస్ చేసిన రా మెటీరియల్ గానీ, లేబర్ కి ఇచ్చిన వేజెస్ గానీ ఇంతవరకు కవర్ అయినా ఓకే, సాటిస్ఫైడ్ అనమాట కంపెనీ. అంతవరకు కవర్ అయ్యి అనుకోండి, కాబట్టి కంపెనీకి ఎలాంటి లాస్ ఉండదు. ఎందుకని, సపోజ్ మనం పర్చేస్ చేసిన మెటీరియల్ కాస్ట్, లేబర్ కి ఇచ్చిన వేజెస్ ఎంతైతే అయినాయో అంత కాస్ట్ మనం మార్కెట్ లో దాన్ని సేమ్ 10 రూపీస్ కి మన కాస్ట్ అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ అదే 10 రూపీస్ కి మనం మార్కెట్ లో అమ్మడానికి రెడీగా ఉన్నాం. కాబట్టి కంపెనీకి పెద్ద లాస్ ఉండదు. లాస్ అయ్యేదల్లా ఏంటి, ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ అనమాట. అంటే మిషన్ కాస్ట్, ల్యాండ్ కాస్ట్ పెట్టిన కాస్ట్ మనకి రావట్లేదు రిటర్న్స్. కాబట్టి దాన్ని మనం ఏంటి ఫ్యూచర్ లో తెచ్చుకోవచ్చు. సపోజ్ మనకి ఈ కండిషన్ కాకుండా కంపెనీకి మంచి కండిషన్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, ఇయర్ కాకపోయినా నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ అయినా హైయెస్ట్ ప్రైస్ పెట్టుకొని ఆ ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ ని నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అన్న వేలో కంపెనీ ఉండి ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ని సప్లై చేయడానికి రెడీగా ఉండిద్ది అనమాట. కానీ ఒక్కోసారి కంపెనీ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఎలా ఉండిద్ది అంటే కాంపిటీషన్ వల్ల సో ఆ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఫిక్స్ చేసుకోవాల్సి వచ్చింది అనమాట. సపోజ్ మనకైనా వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ 10 రూపీస్ అయితే మనం 8 రూపీస్ 9 రూపీస్ కే మార్కెట్ లో అమ్మాల్సి వచ్చింది. ఎందుకని, సపోజ్ వేరే కంపెనీస్ కూడా 8-9 రూపీస్ కి అమ్ముతున్నప్పుడు మనం 10 రూపీస్ ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్ ని ఫిక్స్ చేసామనుకోండి, ఎవరు పర్చేస్ చేయడం. కాబట్టి అలాంటి కండిషన్ లో మాత్రం కంపెనీ ఎలా ఆలోచించిద్దంటే, వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ కూడా లాసెస్ లో ఉన్న సిచ్యువేషన్ లో అసలు మార్కెట్ లో మనం ప్రొడక్ట్ ని సేల్స్ చేసుకోవడం కన్నా ప్రొడక్షన్ చేయకుండా కొంత పీరియడ్ వరకు మనం కామ్ గా ఉండడం బెటర్ అనుకోండి అనమాట. సో కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కాంపిటీషన్ లో మనకి సప్లై అనేది ఈ విధంగా ఉండేది. ఎలా ఉండిద్ది అంటే the firm refuses to sell the goods, that is if the price is below the variable cost, that is the reason is by not selling the goods the firm suffers a loss equal to average fixed cost only. If it sells the goods that is below the average variable cost, the loss is above fixed cost. So supply curve is above average variable cost. If the market price is, if the firm supply is that portion of marginal cost curve when begins from F. So this is the graph. What is the long run? What is the long run? In a long run, that is the having been attracted by supernormal profits. That is in a long run, supernormal profits are occur. More and more firms are enter the industry. If you observe the long run, so in a long run, that is some companies who are already in the market, so they gains more and more profits. The companies who are in a long run, who are in the companies who are already entered into the market, so in a long run, that is they gain supernormal profits, because that is the in a long run, that is the perfect competition is occur, but the old companies are gaining more and more profits. So automatically, that is all the companies are attracted towards the particular industry. That is all the firms are attracted towards the industry because the industry gains more and more profits. For example, if you observe that is, if you observe in the market, if the particular product sales is occur very high, so automatically that is a that in future, that is more and more companies are ready to produce same type of the products, because that particular product gives more and more profits to the industry. That is the nature of a market. That is in general the human nature is, if a particular product sales occur more and more, and if a particular company gains more and more profits by producing a particular output, so automatically after some period, the other companies are ready to produce the same type of the product, because the reason is the product gives more profits to the industry. So like that is the in a long run has been attracted by supernormal profits, more and more firms enter the industry, so automatically the competition is increases in long run. The scarce of input occur and input price increases. If more companies are ready to produce the same type of the output, so automatically raw material shortages occur. That is a raw material, that is a raw material need increases. If the raw material need or if the raw material demand increases, so the supplier is ready, that is to increase the price of a raw material, because the demand is more. If the demand is more, automatically the supplier is ready to increase the price of a raw material. So in this situation, scarce of inputs occur and input price increases. Hence, the average cost increases. If the input price increases, automatically the cost of production increases. The supply will expand. The supply will expand and price pulling down. The supply will expand and the product price will pulling down. As a result, supernormal profits enjoyed by the firms get eroded. Supernormal, that is the in a first condition, that is the company is at gains supernormal profits. If more and more companies are entered and the input demand increases and input price increases, automatically the supernormal profits enjoyed by the firms get eroded. The entry of firms continue till the supernormal profits are completely eroded. The firms will be in positive to enjoy only normal profits. They are just sufficient to stay in business. That is, the firms will be in positive to enjoy only the normal profits. So that type of the companies are sufficient to stay in business. That is the long run condition in a perfect competition. If you observe the long run, that is in the long run, the supply will expand, because that is in a short run. If you observe the short run, that means below 1 year period. In below 1 year, that is if the new product is enter or new technology is enter into the market, only few companies are produce the new technology product. So automatically only few companies are there, or only few companies are producing a new product, so automatically they gain supernormal profits. And if they are gaining supernormal profits in a short run, the other companies are observing the situations and they are ready, that is to producing the this same product. So if more and more companies are entering into the market, so automatically the competition increases and the company is goes to the situation, that is it gains only normal profits. And the condition is, that is if the company's entry is continue, automatically the situation is arise that the companies gains that is the companies are runs in losses also. So that is in this long run, the company which gains only normal profits in a long run, so this type of the company is survive in the competitive environment in a long run, and it is only this company is stay in business. These firms that are not able to earn at least normal profit will leave the industry. At least normal profits. That means that if they are in losses, so automatically the companies leave the industries. In the long run, two conditions are fulfilled. They are, if the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and average revenue is equal to average cost. And the average cost is tangential to average revenue at lowest point. That is, in a long run, the company in a perfect competition, the company is satisfied two conditions. They are, if marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So marginal revenue means if the company producing additional units, so what is the cost incurred to the company, that is called as a marginal cost. By selling these additional units in the market, what is the income occur to the company, that is called as a marginal revenue. So if this marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost, that means for producing additional units of output, the cost for producing these additional units of output is, for example, 10 rupees. And if you sell the product in the market, so the same 10 rupees income is occur to the company. So that is called as a marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. And average revenue is equal to average cost. So average revenue means that is what is the average quantity, what is the average cost occur for producing a particular quantity of output is called as average cost, and the revenue by selling these goods in the market is called as a average revenue. So these two conditions are compulsory satisfied in a long run, that is for staying the business, for staying the company in a industry. The two conditions are, first one, if marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and average revenue is equal to average cost, and the average cost is tangential to average revenue at lowest point. Long run marginal cost curve processed through the minimum point of long run average cost at E while passing through the marginal revenue curve. The E is the equilibrium point. OQ is units of output production. Normal profits are not visible. They are included as a average cost. Long run average cost includes opportunity cost of staying in the business. If the market, that is a long run average cost, is the opportunity cost for staying the industry in the business. If the market price is below long run average cost, the firm will have to quit the industry. Since in the long run the firms have to recover average cost. That is, if you observe in a long run, if the company wants to stay in the industry for a long run, the firm wants, that is, to stay in the industry as a long run, that is compulsory, it covers the long run average cost. It covers the average cost. If it covers the average cost, so automatically there is a possibility to the firm to survive in the industry as a long run. So that is in a long run, the main conditions are, the company produces the output which cost is equal to revenue, either it's a marginal cost or average cost. And in a short run, And if you observe this condition, the perfect competition in a short run, in a short run, that is the company is ready to supply the output. The marginal cost is equal to a marginal revenue. So these are the two conditions in a perfect competition. That is for a short run period, that is the company produces the output with the cost, that the marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. And in a long run, at least the average cost is equal to average revenue, so the company survive or stay in the industry as a long run. So this is the perfect competition. So these are the different conditions in a perfect competition for surviving in the competitive environment in a short run as well as in a long run. Next of all, that is the monopoly. So monopoly is the one of the imperfect competition. That is, we are already discussed in the last class as a the imperfect competitions are of different types based on number of sellers and number of buyers. The first one is a monopoly, and second one is monopolistic, and third one is a duopoly, and last one is oligopoly. So these are the different type of a imperfect competition. First of all, if you observe, that is a monopoly competition. What are the features of a monopoly competition? A mono means single, poly means sellers. Mono means single and poly means sellers. Monopoly means only a single seller, a single firm dealing in a particular product or service. Only a single firm is producing a particular product or providing a particular service. So that type of the market is called as a monopoly market, and the competition arises by the help of a monopoly market is called as a monopoly competition. So in this monopoly competition, there is no close substitutes to the products. There is no close substitutes. We already discussed in the first unit, that is what are the substitute goods. Tea is a substitute to coffee and coffee is a substitute to tea. That means the substitutes means that is which are fulfilling the same type of the needs like our product. So those products are called as a substitute products or substitute goods. But in a monopoly competition, the substitute goods also not available. No close substitutes. That is in monopoly competition, only a single firm is dealing a particular product or service, and at the same time there is no close substitutes to the product. Monopolistic can decide either price or quantity, not both. That is in monopoly market condition, that is the producer can decide either price or quantity. So how only the price, either price or quantity is the monopoly producer's decision. Only the price or quantity is his final decision. Why? The reason is, if he want, that is to produce more quantity of output in the market, that is to fix the price as a less. Not only that is to fix the price as a less, that is to give the option to the customer at what price the customers are ready to purchase the product. That is to fix that particular price, automatically more quantity of output is sold in a market. So that is in a monopoly competition situation, the producer has only one option, that is the producer decision is only, that is either price or quantity. If he fix the quantity, that means if the producer wants, that is to sell 10,000, that is he fix the target as a to sold 10,000 units of output in the market. If he fix the target as a to fix that is to sold 10,000 units of output in the market. For selling these 10,000 units, that is he does not decide the price. That is, he has no option to fix the price for a product, because the option is, that is the option is under the control of customers, because that is at what price the 10,000 units of output is sell in the market, or sales of 10,000 units of output is occur in the market at what price. So that is the customer's option. If the customers are ready, that is to sell the product at 100 rupees price. So the producer fixed the price as a 100 rupees. If the customers are ready to sell the product in the market as a for 200 rupees, so the producer fixed the price as a 200, because there is no decision in the hands of a producer as a what price to be fixed, because the only the quantity is his decision. And at the same situations, if you take as a if the producer wants, that is to fix the price, so the quantity is the customer's option, the quantity is not his decisions. The quantity decision is not in the hands of a producer, because that is he fix the product price. For example, if the producer wants, that is to fix the product price as a 100 rupees, so or 200 rupees, so automatically the quantity decision is not under the control of a producer. At a 200 price, that is some customers are ready, that is to purchase the product at a 200 price, and some customers are not ready, that is to purchase the product at a 200 price. That is a customer's option. That is, it depends upon their income level. It depends upon their income level. That is the, if the price is satisfied the customer, so automatically more sales is occur. If the price is very high to the customer, or it is not under the income level of the customer, so automatically less sales is occur. So that is in a monopoly competition, that is the producer can decide either price or quantity, not both. If it decide on price, it can determine the quantity. If quantity is decided, the price can be determined. And the next feature of a monopoly competition is the product and services provided by monopolistic bear inelastic demand. The product and services provided by monopolistic bear inelastic demand. The demand is inelastic. What is the difference between elastic demand and inelastic demand? Elasticity demand means that is the demand changes depending upon the market forces, or depending upon the factors. Depending upon the factors of demand, that is the demand for the product changes, that is called as a elastic demand. And inelastic demand, that is the demand for the product is constant. The demand for the product is constant, and the demand for the product does not changes depending upon the factors of production. So that is called as a inelastic demand. The demand is constant. So if you observe in a monopoly competition, the product and services provided by monopolistic bear inelastic demand. That is, the demand is inelastic. That means that only constant demand is occurring in a monopoly, because only a single form. So automatically only a single form is available in the market. So the demand for the product does not increases or does not decreases by depending upon different factors of demand. That means that is, if in a monopoly competition only a single firm, so automatically daily sales is occur. That is the what the customers are loyal to the brand, or what are the regular customers. So the customers number does not increases or decreases in a monopoly competition. And the next feature of a monopoly competition is monopoly created through special privileges. That is created by a special privileges such as licenses, permits, and patent rights. Licenses, permits, and patent rights. Generally, if you observe the monopoly competition is arise in the market due to some conditions. The one of the condition is entry and exit restrictions. Entry and exit restrictions. So entry and exit restrictions means that is for producing some type of the product, the license is compulsory. Or for exporting or importing the goods, the export and import license is compulsory. And the government permissions are compulsory for producing some type of the products. Government permissions are compulsory. For example, if you take as a pesticide industry, insecticide industries, and some type of the export and import goods, so the government permission is necessary. And at the same time, some type of the products, the patent rights are compulsory. What are the patents? Patents means that is if the inventor invent the new product, so automatically he has a right upon the product or formula or technology. If a person invents a new technology or a new product, so automatically he has the right, that is he has a right to produce, or that is he has a right upon the product formula, or right upon the technology. So that is called as a patent rights. So that type of the right product, that is if you want to produce that, the produce the new technology product which is invented by a particular person, so automatically you need a permission from the persons, you need a permission from the person. So for this type of the products, only few persons are ready, that is to produce a product. So in these situations, the monopoly competitions will be arise, the monopoly competition created through special privileges such as licenses. If the product, for producing a product, the license is compulsory, monopoly market creates, and the permissions from government is compulsory. In these situations also, the monopoly markets creates, and the patent person is only the producer for a product. So automatically in these situations also, monopoly market will be created. And the next feature of a monopoly market, in monopoly, marginal revenue is less than average revenue. Marginal revenue is less than average revenue because of quantity discounts. Because of quantity discounts. That means in a monopoly competition, there is no difference between marginal revenue and average revenue. And in some situations, the marginal revenue is less than average revenue. So marginal revenue means that is if you take as a average revenue. Average revenue means that is if the company produces every day 10,000 units and sell these 10,000 units in the market. So the income by selling these 10,000 units, what is the income or revenue occur to the company is called as a average revenue. That is the daily production is 10,000 units, and by selling the 10,000 units in the market, what is the income occur to the organization is called as a average revenue. What is the marginal revenue? If the company wants to produce 15,000 units and to sell these 15,000 units in the market, so the additional, by selling these additional units, what is the income occur to the company, that is called as a marginal revenue. So marginal revenue means by producing additional units, the general normal average units are 10,000. By producing additional units as a 5,000, if you want to produce 5,000 units additional and to sell in the market, in this situation, by producing additional units of output, the income occur to the organization is less than, the income occur to the organization is less than average revenue. That is because of quantity discounts. అంటే జనరల్ గా మనకి ఎక్కువ యూనిట్స్ మనం సేల్స్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎక్కువ ఇన్కమ్ రావాలి, అంతే కదా. మనకి మార్జినల్ అంటే మనం నార్మల్ గా ప్రొడక్షన్ చేసే 10,000 యూనిట్స్ కి వచ్చే ఇన్కమ్ కన్నా మనం 15,000 యూనిట్స్ ప్రొడక్షన్ చేస్తే వచ్చే ఇన్కమ్ అనేది తక్కువ. కానీ జనరల్ గా మనకు జరగాల్సింది ఏంటి, మనం ఎడిషనల్ యూనిట్స్ ప్రొడక్షన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎడిషనల్ ఇన్కమ్ రావాలి. కానీ ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు జరిగిద్ది అంటే మోనోపాలీ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో జనరల్ గా మనకి ప్రొడక్ట్ యొక్క ప్రైస్ అనేది ఎక్కువగా ఉండిద్ది కాబట్టి ప్రతి ఒక్కరు పర్చేస్ చేయలేడు అనమాట ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ ని. అయితే ఇలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ లో సపోజ్ నీకు సేల్స్ ఎక్కువ జరగాలి అని అంటే నువ్వేం చేయాలి, ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్ తగ్గించుకోవాలి. సేల్స్ ఎక్కువ జరగాలి అంటే ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్ తగ్గించుకోవాలి. అంటే నువ్వు ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్ తగ్గించుకోవడం వల్ల నీకు వచ్చే ఇన్కమ్ ఎలా ఉండిద్ది అంటే 10,000 యూనిట్స్ నువ్వు సేల్స్ చేస్తే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నీకు 1 lakh రూపీ వస్తున్నాయి అనుకోండి ఇన్కమ్. 15,000 యూనిట్స్ సేల్స్ చేసినా నీకు 1 lakh రూపీ కన్నా తక్కువ రావచ్చు. అంటే వస్తే 1 lakh రూపీస్, 15,000 యూనిట్స్ కూడా నీకు 1 lakh రూపీ ఇన్కమ్ రావచ్చు, లేదంటే 1 lakh రూపీ కన్నా తక్కువ రావచ్చు అనమాట. ఎందుకని, నువ్వు 10,000 యూనిట్స్ మాత్రమే నువ్వు ప్రొడక్షన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు నువ్వు డిమాండెడ్ గా మార్కెట్ లో అమ్ముతున్నావు కాబట్టి నువ్వు ప్రైస్ ని తగ్గించే అవసరం లేదు. కానీ నీకు సేల్స్ ఎక్కువ జరగాలి అనుకున్నావు, ఎందుకని నువ్వు ఎక్కువ ప్రొడక్షన్ చేసుకున్నావు కాబట్టి ఎక్కువ సేల్స్ జరగాలి అంటే నువ్వేం చేయాలి, డిస్కౌంట్స్ ఇచ్చి ప్రైస్ తగ్గిస్తే అప్పుడు జనరల్ గా కొనలేని కస్టమర్స్ కూడా ప్రైస్ తగ్గింది కాబట్టి కొనొచ్చు, లేదంటే ఆల్రెడీ కొంటున్న కస్టమర్స్ కూడా మనకేంటి ప్రైస్ తగ్గింది కాబట్టి అడిషనల్ యూనిట్స్ ని పర్చేస్ చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ మోనోపాలీ కండిషన్ లో ఎలా ఉండిద్ది అంటే మనకి నార్మల్ సేల్స్ కి ఎంత ఇన్కమ్ వచ్చిద్దో అడిషనల్ యూనిట్ సేల్స్ చేసినా అంతే ఇన్కమ్ వచ్చిద్ది అనమాట. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ యాజ్ ఏ డెస్క్‌టాప్స్ ఆర్ ల్యాప్‌టాప్స్. వీటిని చూస్తే మనం ఫస్ట్‌లో టెక్నాలజీ వచ్చినప్పుడు మనకేంటి ఒక ల్యాప్‌టాప్ గాని, ఒక డెస్క్‌టాప్ గాని కొనాలంటే 1,00,000, 1,50,000 అలా ఉండేదన్నమాట. దాని యొక్క ప్రైస్ 10,00,000 ప్రైస్ ఉన్న సిట్యుయేషన్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. అంటే ఏంటి అప్పుడు ఆ కంపెనీ 1 యూనిట్ ఆర్ 2 యూనిట్స్ కన్నా ఎక్కువ సేల్స్ చేయలేడన్నమాట. మహా అయితే ఆ కంపెనీకి రోజు మీద ఒక ఒక యూనిటో, 2 యూనిట్సో, 2 పీసెసో సేల్స్ జరిగేది. కానీ ఇన్‌కమ్ ఎంతొచ్చేది? ఒక్కో పీస్ అమ్మిన వాడికి 10,00,000 ఇన్‌కమ్. కానీ ఇప్పుడు అదే ప్రొడక్ట్ వాడు 10 యూనిట్స్ అమ్మినా వాడికి సేమ్ ఇన్‌కమ్ వస్తుంది. ఎందుకని? ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్ ఏమైంది ఇప్పుడు? డిక్రీజ్ అయింది. ఎందుకని? మనం ఒక ప్రొడక్ట్ యొక్క క్వాంటిటీ సేల్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసుకోవాలి అంటే ఆటోమేటిక్‌గా మనం ఏం చేయాలి అంటే ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైస్‌లో డిస్కౌంట్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే అందుకే వీడి కండిషన్ ఒకటి చెప్పింది. మోనోపాలీ సిట్యుయేషన్‌లో క్వాంటిటీ అయినా ప్రొడ్యూసర్ చేతిలో ఉండిద్ది. లేదంటే ప్రైస్ 2 అనేవి ప్రొడ్యూసర్ చేతిలో ఉండవు. ఎందుకని? ఎక్కువ క్వాంటిటీ సేల్స్ చేసుకోవాలంటే తక్కువ ప్రైస్ అనేది మార్కెట్‌లో ఎంత కొంటారో అంత ప్రైస్ ఫిక్స్ చేసుకోవాలి. అలా కాకుండా ఎక్కువ ప్రైస్ ఫిక్స్ చేసుకోవాలి అంటే మార్కెట్‌లో వాళ్ళు ఎంత కొంటే అంతే మనం సేల్స్ చేసుకోవాలన్నమాట. So that is in monopoly the marginal revenue is less than average revenue because of quantity discounts. So these are the features of a monopoly in a perfect features of a monopoly. In a monopoly, one of the feature is a single firm dealing in a particular product or service. There is no close substitutes. Monopolist can decide either price or quantity, not both. Product and service provided by monopolistic bear inelastic demand, and a monopoly is created by the special privileges such as license permits and patent rights. In monopoly, the marginal revenue is less than average revenue because of quantity discounts. So in the next class, we are going to tomorrow. That means in Monday class, we are going to discuss about what is the price output determination in a monopoly competition. What is the price output determination in a monopoly competition? Okay. Thank you, students.